Star Wars Battlefront 2 versus Call of Duty WWII. Which game is better and which game should you put your hard-earned money towards? Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Elijah and today I'm here with Luke.
Hello.
And we are going to be taking a look at Call of Duty WWII and Star Wars Battlefront 2. There's been some new happenings as of today involving Star Wars Battlefront 2, some controversies that we want to talk about. The game isn't out quite yet, but we still should be able to talk about what we know from the beta, because we both played the beta a little bit, and what we know based off of this new information we have, and maybe where you should put your money towards if you want a good first-person shooter game with a multiplayer.
Well, right off the bat, we're not going to talk about graphics or the story or stuff like that.
Yes.
We're going to focus on one specific part in this video, which is going to be, you want to say it, or
the wonderful, glorious, fan favorite world of microtransactions in video.
Yes. Today there was basically, they revealed their microtransaction system, and it's awful for Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
so
I haven't read too much about it. I know you have most of the information on
right.
that. So.
Okay, so let me just throw some information at you, like just some basic numbers, okay? Okay, so you get 275 credits per match, right?
Yeah.
That's an average of 25 credits per minute of gameplay.
Okay.
But you need to earn a trooper crate, which is a loot box.
Mm-hmm.
You need 4,000 of these credits. So you need to play 160 minutes to get one loot crate, which is 2.5 hours. Okay?
Okay.
So you need to play 40 hours to unlock one hero. 40 hours to unlock one character.
So to get a character, you have to play 40 hours, or how much is it? Do we have to spend money to buy the character, or is it like
well, you either play the 40 hours or you spend the money on microtransactions and loot boxes and stuff like that.
And this is after your initial 60. You don't get anything at the beginning.
Right, you don't get anything, I guess. Because it costs 60,000 credits to unlock a character. I mean, I guess there's some cheaper characters, but the cool ones are up there, you know.
This is an issue. Like, this is, I guess, what's really crappy about EA, because here's the thing, like, everyone complained 2 years ago when Star Wars Battlefront came out that there wasn't a single player campaign, that there was only like 3 maps, and the DLC you had to pay for with the season pass, and essentially they were milking their customers for more than just the base value of the game. They were forcing customers essentially to buy half of a game and then buy the second half for double the price later. And essentially, because of that bad PR, they flipped it and they make it sound like there's, you know what I mean, all the DLC in the future is free, but they're just charging the consumer again the same way. They're nickel and diming the consumer in a different way to make money.
So this is kind of smart, or it's kind of shady, however you want to look at it. But what they're doing, basically, they're not going to take $50 for a season pass anymore. They're going to take like double or triple that amount in microtransactions, so you get characters and you get more out of the game. Because they can't just say it is unlockable without buying anything, you know?
Yeah.
Which it is, but it's ridiculous.
Now,
time
if we
investment.
flip this, I've played through the campaign of Call of Duty WWII, and I played through Zombies. I played a little bit of multiplayer. But how does multiplayer in Call of Duty WWII handle the loot box?
Well,
or the crates?
right now, there's no possibility for you to spend real money on loot crates. I'm assuming that's going to come in the future. You know, they always have the Call of Duty points. But right now, I feel like you get a good percentage of crates from what you play. You do like missions, you get a crate. You level up, you get a crate, you know?
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like forced. I actually have some collections unlocked already, and I didn't put any extra money towards it. And usually, that's why I want to compare these two, because usually Call of Duty is a really shitty microtransaction game. Like Infinite Warfare, that was like microtransaction.
Yeah, I remember basically. Advanced Warfare even.
Or Advanced Warfare,
a special type of that one gun. It was kind of like a Tommy gun, and there was like one version of it that if you
it was pay to win
in a box, it became pay to win.
Right.
That's interesting.
So World War II doesn't have that. They still have loot boxes, but they don't force them on you, and all you get from them is like a different calling card or a different emote or, you know, like some outfit for your dude. Or maybe, like, okay, the only thing is if you have a full collection, you might get a weapon skin that gives you 10% more XP on a kill.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not pay to win. It's just you level up more.
It doesn't give you an advantage over other players. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's interesting, because here's the thing, like, I was so excited about Star Wars Battlefront 2 because the campaign, for the first time we're getting first time in a long time, we're getting a Star Wars single player narrative, and we're getting something that actually looks interesting. And the soundtrack in those games, it's just so amazingly done. And the graphics, they do look genuinely good. And in comparison, like, it's like it has all of the elements to be a game that is significantly better than Call of Duty World War II, because, you know, Call of Duty World War II, it has decent graphics. The story was okay. It was a little bit rushed. And there's enough to do, but it just didn't have that, like, triumphant feeling that, like, the Star Wars universe has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because there's so much potential here in this new Star Wars game. And when it's just a multiplayer is bogged down so much by microtransactions, or even worse, like, just supporting a developer that has that mindset, that just looks at the consumers so much as a source of income instead of kind of providing a quality game first. It's a shame.
Yeah, it really sucks, and this is a trend that's going on right now.
Yeah,
more and more games are doing that. Even single player games are doing this, which,
yeah, I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed Origins, for instance, they had loot boxes in it where you can get,
but I heard
weapons.
It's not as bad as Star Wars Battlefront does it now.
Of course, because the difference between a game like Assassin's Creed doing it is it's single player. You're not affecting other people's experiences based on what you're selling. So it would be one thing like Rainbow Six Siege. They recently added, I don't know what they call them, but they added a form of, like, loot crates almost, but they're like packages.
Yeah.
Same idea, but it's all cosmetic items. So the other players don't really get an advantage over you, unless they pay for the season pass or they pay for, like, the characters that are harder to get. But even then, to unlock a character without buying the season pass, besides the fact you already get a bunch of characters for free and you have a variety and they're mostly all balanced, you know what I mean, evenly, like, even the new characters that come out, like, you can earn them after, like, 15 hours of gameplay, but you get what I mean? Like, the players aren't necessarily, like, the new characters aren't extremely better than everyone else. So I'm curious if Star Wars Battlefront 2 will try to leverage that by making, I guess, all of the characters that you unlock more equal, but it just doesn't seem like that would make sense when you get no one at the beginning.
I guess so, but we don't know if it's pay to win, but it's kind of like, maybe it's not even worth your time, you know?
Yeah.
Because maybe you're going to play 40 hours and then and then the characters is basically the same as everyone else. I mean, I'm looking at the stuff, and Luke and Darth Vader are the ones that are the most expensive, but these are the ones you want, right? So you gotta put in the 40 hours. I mean, I guess you gotta put in only 1/3 of the time if you want some dude called Aiden, who I don't remember who that exactly is right now.
Aiden? Was he the guy from Rogue One? I don't know.
Oh, that's the chick from the story, you know?
From Rogue One?
No, from the Battlefront 2 story mode.
Oh.
Yeah, she's called Aiden, apparently. Well, she's a shapeless character, apparently. Nice.
Well, that's annoying, because weren't characters free in the first one, Star Wars Battlefront? Like,
yes.
You
could get DLC characters, but it didn't have too many. You know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so, like, there's games that do this in a good way, and you can do loot boxes and microtransactions as long as they're cosmetic. Like, let's say, so League of Legends, right? I don't know. You have never played it, probably. I don't know. But you can buy like skins for your character. It's just skins for your character. It just looks different. It doesn't give you an advantage. It doesn't do anything. Then Counter-Strike. You know, there's a lot of the boxes you can open with the keys, and of course it's expensive. And there was the problem with gambling, you know. But you don't need the skins to win or like to get an advantage. You know, it's just for your own feel. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But if they're cutting out a part of the game that they kind of promised before, like more heroes and stuff, and making it hide behind like 40 hours of gameplay or paying like a couple bucks every time, you know?
Yeah.
That's kind of shitty.
Yeah. I'm curious how other people also see this, how they see loot boxes, because so many times I see people who, you know, kind of brush off loot boxes, going, I don't see what the big deal is or whatever. But besides the fact that it's kind of changing the face of video games in the whole industry, and how a lot of these games are now making more money off of loot boxes than their initial sales. Like, I think Ubisoft announced that Rainbow Six Siege made more off like their paid content later. I wonder how other players feel now that it's becoming less of just like a little bonus thing, and it's more becoming more and more integrated into how you play your games and how it affects your gameplay style overall.
And honestly, it's come to the point where it's a deciding factor on me wanting to buy a game or not. You know, if they don't change, oh well, okay, so we didn't want to make this video to slam Star Wars Battlefront. It might be still a fine game, but like maybe if more people talk out about it, they might change it. Maybe they will lower the credits, or you know, maybe they'll give you more credits.
Balance out the characters, give you some characters, that make everything at least balanced.
Maybe yeah, if it gets enough attention, I'm sure they might do something about it.
Right.
So that's why we kind of wanted to talk about this too, because this is just you know,
we can
just sad.
Spin it around even to the comments here. I mean, I don't know, like, because this is something Luke and I have a very strong opinion on, but I'm curious, genuinely curious, if other players out there prefer or don't care if there's the extra type of loot. Sorry, I got Discord notifications going in the background. So
you call yourself a professional?
But if you guys want to, leave a comment down below and let us know what you think about loot boxes, and maybe add to this discussion, because maybe we're missing something here, or are we kind of on track for what we're thinking? I'm open for discussion. I'll read every single one of our comments, so does Luke. So and I don't know, this is just something that kind of happened today. We wanted to talk about it. We wanted to get it out to you guys and see where you're headed.
Well, one thing I want to do, the reason we talked about this is because of the Reddit post by the Hotter Potato. So we'll put a link to that in the description.
What credits do.
Yeah, and he has like a spreadsheet where you can look at the numbers, some more, and there's some more numbers. Like he compares it to minimum wage and stuff. But we're not going to talk about it. You got to check it out for yourself. So that's where we're going to wrap it up now. We want to know what you think about loot boxes. Do you think it is a bad trend? Do you think it doesn't matter? Or do you think it's fine, you know?
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.